Hi, my name is Sarah Taylor, and I am doing a mock counseling session with Caitlin Kish, and we're doing it on reality therapy. And so her chief issue is just anxiety and dealing with her job and making sure that she is finding a way to better combat her anxiety. Hi, Caitlin. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, thank you for coming in today. I know that it can be nerve-wracking to come in and talk about things that normally you wouldn't talk to anybody about. So, I will ask some personal questions today, but I want you to feel open and just, I'm here to listen and help you through it. So, today we're going to be doing something a little different. I know last time we did the intake where we asked you a bunch of nosy questions and kind of figured out more about yourself and more about myself. And so today we're going to be doing a little bit more about this type of counseling called reality therapy. And it works to mainly address your needs and show which ones you may be struggling with and which ones you may need more help with. And so, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, can you just tell me a little bit about why you're here today?
I'm here just because I've been feeling more anxious than normal, especially like at work and meeting the expectations I have at work and getting new projects at work. And it's just gotten to where it's been hard for me to deal with the anxiety at work.
Okay. I can understand that. That can definitely present a lot of problems when you're trying to do your job. So I kind of want to go into like what you want in life, and so like what is something that you want? What's a big goal of yours?
Just to be good at my job and to make a difference at my job.
Okay. So what is the problem that you have most come into contact when trying to do that?
Just that when I get like new projects and new assignments, it makes me very anxious and it makes me feel like I'm going to make mistakes and then I can't do it. And it just makes me feel like I don't belong at my job and that there would be someone else better that would work there.
Okay, I understand. So with that in mind, what is your picture, a little bit of a different twist, but what is your picture of quality life or relationships, etc.?
Just to be happy and like to feel supported and support someone else, and to be encouraged and to both be encouraging, but also just to make a difference.
Okay. So what do your friends and family want for you?
I'd probably say the same thing, like, and also just, for me to have like healthy relationships, a healthy work life, probably not to be so anxious.
Okay. Are there any relationships that come to mind that you feel present more of a problem than a solution?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like my relationship with my coworkers is hard just because I get so anxious at work that it makes it hard for me to like want to go talk to them, and just makes me feel kind of like a bother to them.
Okay. So, what would be your dream expectation of therapy, and what would be that? What would you get from it if you could get anything from it?
Just different ways to help with my anxieties and to help cope.
All right. So it seems as if your biggest thing that you're concerned about is the anxiety, and what you really want is just to be able to do well at your job.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing, like acting or feeling, or like when you go into work, like what are you doing that starts to bring up that anxiety?
Just mainly when I have like deadlines and new assignments or projects, it stresses me out that I'm not going to get them done, or like that if I do get them done, I'm not going to do well, and I'm not going to succeed. and it often makes it to where it takes longer for me to do those things just because I've spent so long in my own mind about it.
Okay. So what are some things that you feel, if you could use some other words other than anxiety or anxious, what would be some of the words that you would use?
Overwhelmed, probably, stressed,
Okay.
fearful.
Okay. So do you think that those thoughts and actions would affect your health or the people around you?
I would say so, just because it doesn't make me my happiest when I am very anxious, and I also like pick my fingers a lot when I'm anxious, so that's obviously not super healthy.
Okay. Okay. So have you ever gone to therapy before for this?
I have not, no.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're here. I can see a lot of things that I will be able to help you with that I resonate with. So what have you, if you have you been doing anything to help you in the time being with your anxiety? Like, what would you do if you start to become anxious?
I journal. Sometimes I like color, just like do different things to get my mind off of it. It's kind of harder when I'm at work and I can't just like stop what I'm doing. So I try to just like take deep breaths and work on my breathing and stuff.
Okay. So is what you're doing helping you to get where you want to be, or is it not fully helping you?
I would say it probably helps to an extent. I think it helps like de-escalate some of the anxieties, but I'm hoping like therapy can give me other outlets and different things to do to help more.
Okay. So when you think about becoming anxiety free and being able to do really well at your job, does that seem to relieve some of that pressure? Does that feel like something that you can achieve?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it feels like I'll never not be anxious, but I've had friends and stuff that have gone to therapy for anxiety, and I know like with time and if I put in the work and like do my exercises and stuff, it'll help.
Okay, good. Well, it's a great step that you're open to therapy and open to working through it. So when does it help for you to look at anxiety as something to beat rather than something that you fear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So how hard are you prepared to work for this?
I would definitely say as hard as I need to, just so I can get back to my normal happy self and be healthy mentally.
Okay. Well, I want you to remember that it's not necessarily something that you have to really work hard for, because you will have to work hard, but it's not like a challenge. It's more of, I want to know kind of where you stand on how much you really want this, whether you really want this or whether you do it because someone else did it, because in all honesty, therapy works the best when you're open and you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
So is your current level of commitment working in your favor right now?
I think that it's starting to just, coming here was a big step for me. I've had like friends and family members suggest therapy for a while, but I was never ready, never felt like I fully needed it until recently, and am ready for the commitment of therapy.
Okay, so what are you prepared, like when you think of your anxiety, and you think of how you can combat it with therapy, what in your mind do you see that looking like?
Just like different ways I can help, break down those anxious and intrusive thoughts, and different ways I can help like bring myself back and conquer those thoughts to where I can, do a good job and not be so fearful and stressed and overwhelmed.
Okay. So are you clear, so to speak, about what you're going to do? about whether when you look at anxiety, you look at it as something to conquer rather than something to fear, and you trust in like the process, that the here and now, it's going to be a process, but it's has the potential to really help you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like you said, you think it's achievable. How do you see that being achieved?
Probably just, by starting and using some of the things I've been taught in therapy, like deep breaths and like positive affirmations, like I can do this, and there was a reason I was hired for my job and that I went to school for it and stuff, and maybe too just like, going to coworkers and my boss for support and kind of seeing if there's anything else I can do.
So say that you get to a point where you've been in therapy and you're dealing with conquering your anxieties and working at your job. How will you know when you've done it, when you've conquered it, or you're getting better? How do you know?
I think I'll know just by my work starting to improve, being happier, going to work and stuff too, and not feeling as fearful, but also just like happier in day-to-day life, and enjoying things more instead of being anxious about what's next.
So can you start doing that now, starting with the positive affirmations and working to look more towards your inner self when you're working, rather than trying to compete with the different standards of your work or your job?
I think so.
So you believe that it's in your control?
Yes.
Good. And are you committed to doing it?
Yes.
Okay. So another part of the reality therapy techniques is that they focus on 5 different needs: fun, freedom, power, belonging, and survival. What are one of those that you feel you either resonate with, or would be your, like if you could pick one out, that would be the one that you most wanted to work on?
Probably just belonging. Like I said before, I feel like my anxiety in the workplace kind of prohibits me from like feeling like I belong there, and it makes it so where I don't feel like I mesh well with my coworkers and my boss, and just makes it where I feel like there should be someone else at the job.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand how that would come up and you would feel that way. So how as we're talking and we've talked about your anxiety and your fears, how do you think that you could meet that need?
Just by being more open with my coworkers and my boss, but also just reminding myself that we all got that job the same way. We all are deserving of that job, and that we all belong there.
Good. So with that in mind as well, how are there ways that you can improve how you're dealing with that need, how you're meeting that need? Because you're not obviously going to be able to all of a sudden just wake up and be like, oh, my belonging need is felt, because it's going to take time. But how do you think you can improve it as you move forward?
Just also remembering that I'm more than just my work, and I have other areas of life too that I belong in, and that my life isn't solely my career.
Good. Well, I appreciate you being here and answering all the questions. I know it seems tedious sometimes, like you're repeating the same thing over and over again, but it gives us a good idea of where your chief issues are and where we can really start off. And I know it can be hard to talk about, and you've made the biggest step by being here. And I do want you to know that what you're feeling, your anxiety, it's not something that you're expected to do alone, and that's why I'm here and always willing to talk. And you definitely don't need to be alone in this anymore. And so in our next session, I'll ask you some more about your symptoms and your different complaints over the week, but I also want to see how you've improved over the week at work. So going forward, I would try to use what we've talked about and those different needs and those different questions that I asked to see what you can do during the week at work, how you can improve and meet that need of belonging, as well as just working through your anxiety and doing the deep breaths and such as those things. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.